Welcome to our online workshop for successful officer transitions. This is intended for both incoming and outgoing officers, so feel free to share with other officers or watch as a group. We're assuming that you've already done elections. If you haven't, we have another video detailing how to hold elections and how to use the Highlander Link elections tool. Now, the first big step to a successful transition is updating your Highlander Link page immediately. Your outgoing officers can head to the page roster and edit any position by clicking next to someone's name. You can check and uncheck any position, so remove old officers and assign new officers. If you want to create custom positions, check out our full video on how to use Highlander Link and we discuss it there. Also, as a reminder, you can only have 2 reservers on your roster, so think carefully about what 2 people will need to reserve rooms for your organization in the future. You can update these positions anytime, so don't worry if things change. In addition to your roster titles, you'll need to update your primary contact, who receives messages and updates pertaining to your club, as well as them having full admin access by default. Next to your primary officer's picture is a little pen. Select that to change your primary contact to someone else that is already on your roster. Another big aspect of transitioning officers is passing on important information. Passwords for online accounts and services is important, so think about all the various emails, social media, and other accounts that you might use. You also might have forms and documents that you've used in the past. Make sure that your new officers have these documents so they don't have to start from scratch. Think about updates from meetings with your various advisors. If you have an optional advisor that is a staff, faculty, or community member, maybe you meet with the advisor together to make introductions and transition that responsibility. Advisors, while not having any power or control over the club, have valuable wisdom to help your club maintain consistency. Lastly, if you have a bank account, you should meet with the bank or credit union to update your signatories. This may require an updated verification letter from Student Life, so just let us know and we can update that letter for you. Something else that sometimes gets lost in the transition is what exactly Student Life requires of clubs. Firstly, we have a day-long conference during week 0 of each fall quarter called the Student Org Seminars, formerly called Student Org Retreats. It's required to send 1 rep from each club to the day specifically designated for your cluster or category. Secondly, we have meetings throughout the year called cluster meetings for all the groups in your category. For most clubs, these happen once a quarter and you must attend 1 a year. Fraternities and sororities and graduate student clubs have different requirements. Each club also has to meet with us at least once a year for an in-person check-in meeting, where we can discuss how your club is doing, what struggles you're facing, and generally answer questions to make sure your club is successful. And lastly, each spring quarter, every club has to register through Highlander Link and update your club's information, which lets us know any changes to your club's roster and officers for the following year. Now we're going to cover some questions and discussion points. If you're watching this as a group, maybe take a second to pause and go over these questions. If you're watching solo, make note of which questions you should ask or preemptively answer depending on if you're outgoing or incoming. We recommend questions like, what is the most difficult part of the position? Are there any important meetings or deadlines that I should be aware of? Any words of wisdom that may be useful? As a former officer, what do you know now that you wish you had known when you first started your position? As the former executive board, what suggestions do you have for the new board on working together? As new officers, what questions do you have for the former executive board? This transition time is also a great time for goal setting. We recommend framing your goals around a method called SMART goals. These goals are specific, meaningful, attainable, relevant, and timely. If you try to stick close to those requirements, your goals will be easy to track and hopefully easy to accomplish. If you can't think of goals, try centering them around academics, events that your club would like to hold, service and philanthropy opportunities, public relations and your club's visibility, and new member programming to help new members ease into the club. Student Life is always here to help. So on screen now you see all of our organization advisors, and you can find out your advisor. If you haven't met with them, take this chance to schedule a meeting and maybe bring up questions that you might have. It's always better to meet with your organization advisor earlier rather than later. If you want to schedule a meeting, you can contact Student Life by heading to Hub 229 or giving us a call at 951 827-7344. Thanks for watching.